This is Jerome Kern Tune of the Week 5, The Way You Look Tonight. Just a reminder that I do these videos every week, but every other week it's on Patreon only. So if you like the idea of learning these tunes and you want access to all the Tune of the Week, you can become a member over at Patreon. So what we do is that we play the melody together and then we trade solos and then we play the melody again, and then maybe I'll talk a little bit about some things about this tune. So The Way You Look Tonight, we're gonna play it with the Latin feel. So yeah, let's get started. This is your solo. now we play the melody again. Okay, so I wanted to use the Abersold because the backing track is much better than the iReal Pro there, but the way they played the B section was kind of not the changes that I preferred, so unfortunately I had to use the iReal Pro here. So this is not a fast tune originally, but some people play this very fast. I've heard people play it like super fast, but you don't have to do that. So it is an A, B, C section form, but it's a little bit confusing because the C section is basically just the A with an extra, right? But, and then there's supposed to be a break, but iReal Pro doesn't do breaks, but you usually go boom. There you play your, in the break with the first soloist, that's where you play your hip shit, right? In that break. It's like that tune, Moment's Notice, same thing. It gives the soloist a moment to just set up the solo with some flashy stuff, right? And you want to make sure that if you're going to take a solo, if you're jamming with people, that you really step up and really show that I'm going to play now. You know, horn players, it's easier because they put their horns to their mouth and then you can tell that they're getting ready. But we as guitar players, we have to also show that, okay, I'm gonna take this solo. And if you take another solo, this is kind of a long tune, but if you're gonna play another chorus, you do a break again, and then you make sure that you play something so really showing that you're gonna continue in that break, or you fade out your solo so that the next soloist can play something in the break there, right? So what some people do is they don't play those that little extra. They just play A, B, A until they play the last chorus of their solo, if you know what I mean. But that can be a little bit confusing. So I think it's better to do those breaks every time when you're soloing, unless you're like rehearsed. So that little extra vamp could also be an intro, right? Like could be like, it's like a 1-6-2-5 like thing. So then there's a little melody there. So you can play that little phrase in between those melodies. I think the vocalists are kind of humming there or something. That could also be an intro, it could be an interlude, it could be an outro, you can just play that thing. You could also go, you know, kind of like E flat over B flat, B flat sus. That could also be an intro. Some people, they kind of skip that whole. I've heard people play. And they go straight back there. There is a gypsy jazz version with guitar player Rocky Grisey. Rocky Grisey, and he plays this tune. Now, I think they cut those last bars every time. So that's also something you can do, of course. But if you're gonna play this on a jam session and people haven't prepared anything, it's better to just play what we just did there, the way it is in iReal Pro. Some variations on the chords. F minor, B flat. Here it could be G minor 7 flat 5. And then B section, I liked the diminished chord. It could be E flat 7, of course. What are some other good versions of this tune? Let's see what the Aebersold suggests. Yeah, a lot of people have recorded this. Introduced by Fred Astaire in the film Swing Time. 1936 Academy Award winner. Oh, Eric Dolphy recorded it. Stan Getz, Dizzy Gillespie, Benny Goodman, Stefan Grappelli. Oh, I haven't heard that. Something for us Django aficionados. Johnny Griffin, Colin Hawkins, Billie Holiday. Yeah, Billie Holiday did this. Keith Jarrett, of course. Earl Klugh. Interesting. I haven't heard that. Wes Montgomery. Can't remember. I need to go back and listen to Wes Montgomery's version of this tune. Art Pepper, Art Tatum. Yeah, a lot of people recorded this tune. So that was The Way You Look Tonight. Thank you for your time and attention. I shall see you next time.